In the animated series American Dad, Steve Smith deals with a lot of challenges as the youngest child of Stan and Francine. Growing up in a chaotic home, Steve faces the ups and downs of being a teenager. But it's not easy. Have you ever thought about how different parenting styles can change a child's life? Stan is strict and serious, while Francine is more laid back. This mix creates confusion for Steve. From strange bonding moments to bad advice about dating, it's clear that his parents make his life complicated. How do their actions affect his friends and how he sees himself? As we look at Steve's experiences, we'll see how their parenting choices impact him. So, stick around to find out more about this unique family. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into American Dad. Francine's unusual approach. Francine Smith is often portrayed as a quirky mother, but her parenting can cross into unsettling territory. For example, she once tried to bond with Steve by sneaking him her breast milk. When Steve discovers this bizarre attempt at connection, he is understandably horrified. But instead of backing off, Francine goes to great lengths to make him believe he needs it, even drugging his drinks. This level of manipulation is alarming and definitely raises red flags for needing professional help. The aftermath of her actions. These strange moments not only create a rift between Steve and Francine, but also set a troubling precedent for their relationship. It shows how parents can inadvertently cause emotional distress in their children through misguided attempts to connect. Stan's toxic masculinity. Stan, Steve's father, has some really troubling views about women. He treats them more like trophies to win, instead of individuals who deserve respect. This attitude affects Steve's dating life a lot, as he starts to pick up on his dad's strange beliefs. Instead of helping him build healthy relationships, Stan's advice makes Steve come off as creepy and socially awkward, making it hard for him to talk to girls. In a misguided attempt to fix Steve, Stan even sends him to reversion therapy, thinking it will help him suppress his natural feelings. But this extreme step only makes things worse, leaving Steve confused and frustrated about who he is and how to have relationships. Instead of guiding his son toward understanding and acceptance, Stan just puts up more walls for Steve. The pressure to meet his dad's unrealistic expectations makes Steve feel isolated and misunderstood. Overall, Stan's harmful approach shows how toxic masculinity can hurt kids and highlights the need for healthier views on women and relationships. This situation really highlights the problems that can come from bad parenting on a child's emotional growth. The physical impact of parenting. Stan's parenting affects Steve not just socially but also in how he feels about himself. In one episode, Stan thinks that giving Steve steroids will make him more popular at school. Instead of helping, this choice leads to bad side effects, making Steve feel even more self-conscious and out of place. This shows how poor parenting choices can hurt a child's self-esteem and body image. Steve's struggles during puberty are another big part of the story. His parents can't agree on how to help him, so they decide to use a serum to delay his puberty. However, their plan backfires badly, and Steve ends up turning back into a toddler. This funny yet serious moment reminds us how important it is to have supportive parents during tough times like puberty. The mixed messages from his parents leave Steve feeling confused and unsupported. Overall, these situations show that misguided parenting can lead to negative results, highlighting the need for understanding and kindness during a child's growing years. The Smith family dynamic. The Smith household is often shown as a busy and chaotic place, and Steve seems to thrive in this lack of order. He doesn't have a set bedtime and enjoys eating chocolate chip pancakes and Chardonnay for breakfast. He stays up late playing video games, which keeps him from learning responsibility or being productive. This kind of lifestyle is common in animated shows, where kids deal with independence and self-control. In a misguided effort to make Steve into what he thinks is the perfect son, Stan decides to send him to military school. He believes that this will help Steve build muscle and smarts, so he can attract girls. However, the problem is that military schools are usually all boys, meaning Steve won't even get a chance to meet girls, which makes him feel even more alone. This shows how rigid Stan's parenting is and how he doesn't really understand what Steve needs. Instead of helping him grow, Stan's actions create more obstacles for his son, highlighting the gap between his intentions and what Steve really experiences. This chaotic home life, combined with Stan's misguided plans, makes it tough for Steve to navigate his teenage years. Rebellion and running away. Eventually, Steve's struggles reach a breaking point. Following his sister Haley's example, he decides to run away from home. Even though he is often called the good child, this label adds a lot of pressure on him. Stan, wanting to connect with his son, feels like a failure when he finds a note from Steve saying he's never coming back. This moment shows the sad distance that has grown between father and son. Things take a darker turn when Francine discovers that Steve has been harming animals. This shocking news highlights the emotional damage caused by Stan's extreme parenting. In his search for identity and freedom, Steve creates an alter ego called Steve Areno. This new persona represents his wish to break free from his parents' strict rules. It shows his rebellion and the inner conflict he feels as he tries to be himself while meeting their expectations. The heavy weight of Stan's rigid parenting, combined with the chaos at home, pushes Steve to dangerous behaviors, showing how a strained family life can seriously affect a young person's mental health. Parenting, styles, and conflict. As tensions rise, Stan's strict military style clashes with Francine's caring approach. Their different ways of parenting come to a funny head in a dirt bike race to decide how to raise Steve. While this idea is comedic, it has a serious message about needing balance in parenting. Stan's harsh methods often hold back Steve's true self, while Francine's overly easygoing style can lead to chaos. The race shows their struggle to find common ground and highlights how extreme parenting styles can hurt their child. Instead of working together, both parents get caught up in competition, missing the chance to support Steve. This funny showdown reminds us that good parenting needs a mix of discipline and support. It shows that teamwork is important for helping a child grow and be happy. In the end, it reveals that both parenting styles have their problems, and a balanced approach is key for Steve's development. Finding common ground. In the end, Stan and Francine realize that their extreme parenting styles are pushing Steve away. They come together and combine their methods, creating a healthier home for their family. This teamwork helps bring Steve out of his dark thoughts and encourages him to talk openly. They agree to support Steve while also holding him responsible for his actions, showing a better balance in their parenting. This change helps Steve feel valued and understood, which is important for his emotional healing. Even though the future of his alter ego, Steve Areno, is uncertain, the family's new unity brings hope for Steve's growth. Their decision to work together shows that parenting shouldn't be a competition. It can be a team effort focused on helping a child grow. With this new approach, the Smith family starts to heal and strengthen their bond. They create a more positive atmosphere for the future. By learning to communicate and support each other, they show that understanding and cooperation can make a big difference in a child's life. This journey teaches us that a united family can help each member thrive and find happiness together. Steve Smith's journey in American Dad is both funny and serious, showing the ups and downs of parenting. Stan and Francine's different styles create chaos in Steve's life, affecting how he feels about himself and his happiness. This story teaches us that having balance in parenting is really important. Have you ever seen how a united family can make things better? As we watch Steve deal with his problems, it reminds us how important it is to understand and support kids as they grow. How can we use these lessons in our own lives? Steve's story shows us that every child needs guidance and love to discover who they are. So, what can we do to make a more supportive environment for the kids around us? Let's learn from Steve's experiences and work for better communication and understanding in our families. Together, we can positively impact the lives of the children we care about.